Hey, everybody. Thank you for tuning in on this nice Thursday where I'm at here. The weather's pretty nice, since the fall is going to be here in about 13 days officially by date. But today, my guest, and you guys know who she is, she stops by fairly often. Jan from New York City saves money. Hey, Jan, nice to have you along today.
Thanks for having me. Hi, everybody. How you doing?
I'm good. Um, as you saw yesterday, I did an audio format on a cookie recipe that will allow you to make three different variations of a cookie. But I failed to mention one thing. You could even make a fourth variation. It will also allow you to make chocolate chip cookies as well. The reason why I didn't mention that is I was just starting to get into baking those, but I never really got too into the chocolate chip, so that's why I didn't mention it. But you could make a chocolate chip cookie out of that base cookie batter recipe as well, not just the peanut butter, the oatmeal, and the oatmeal raisin. So,
That's wonderful, Steve. And that's so affordable. I hope you don't mind me jumping in on this. Everybody, I have to say this, it's September now. And where I am already last night, I had a little bit of a nip in the air. The temperature went down to like 69 degrees. And I feel so guilty saying this with so many other people in such, relentless heat. But in my neck of the woods, usually about the third week or the last week of September, I start thinking about baking all over again. So, Steve, your mentioning those cookie recipes was so timely. It's just reminiscent of when the kids come home from school or you just want to have a self celebration. Guess what I'm doing next week, Steve? I actually have a recipe coming on next week for I love cookies and it shows, but I don't eat them often. But they just bring back happy memories. And one of my absolutely favorite cookies, besides a good quality chocolate chip, Steve, is a Linzer tart cookie. So that recipe is going to come on actually next week on my channel.
I've heard of that. I've heard of that cookie before, the one you just mentioned. That sounds really familiar.
It's like a giant jelly cookie. It's a sandwich cookie, and it's made with almond extract or almond flour. It all depends, or grinded up almonds and flour. It
Hmm.
all you have the choice. But the interior is used with raspberry jam or stuff like
Oh,
that
yes,
one.
yes. I guess you just had to draw it out for me. I know exactly now that you put it on that. Yes, I know precisely the one you're talking about. I've had them. They're really
Yes.
they're really good. I guess if you didn't want to use the raspberry, again, it's probably a blank canvas. You could do the strawberry or whatever variation you wanted. The apricot, I guess, if you can get it.
Absolutely, or lemon curd. Some people even swap out lemon
Oh,
curd for if you're a lemon lover. Basically, Steve, a Linzer cookie is basically a butter cookie. If you like butter cookies or Greek style cookies, then a Linzer cookie is for you. There was a diner in Jersey, actually specifically in Hoboken, Steve. I used to love to frequent there. Not so much for the meals. The meals were okay, but part of the tradition was I had to pick up one of those Linzer cookies before I went home. Ever see those diners or restaurants where they plant those big, beautiful cookie type thing right before you leave? It's like a tradition. I'm
yeah,
like, if I'm going to go to that place, you bet I'm going to get one of those Linzer cookies. It was so good.
yeah. As a matter of fact, when I went to visit, she's not there now, but I used to go visit my sister up in Hackettstown, New Jersey. And on a couple of occasions that I remember, we went to diners. And if you go to a diner compared to an actual restaurant, the food is way different. I mean, it's you're comparing like mom and pop food almost to something that is always made day in, day out. If I don't know if that makes sense or not,
A
but
billion% sense.
does it? Okay. But when you go to a diner, the food to me is so mom and pop like. The atmosphere is mom and pop like.
It really is. You nailed it. And Jersey, the state of New Jersey is well known for quality diners. So if you watch, there's that show without naming names on one of those foodie type networks that talks about, diners, and that person goes around, checks them out. The when he goes to the New Jersey ones, I really love to watch that because I've been to so many of them. They're really so fun. You nailed it though, Steve.
Yeah,
And a lot of people who drive trucks and stuff like that, they don't mind. You feel like you have like an at home, cozy experience because that's part of the dining out experience, not always just the food, but you nailed it because the actual food is the closest that I have had for homemade. If I had a tough day, every once in a while, my husband and I would jump in the car at that time and just say, let's go to X number dine. I said under one condition. And he said, what's that? We are not leaving without a Linzer cookie. And that's it.
yeah. Those Linzer cookies are off the chain. I know exactly which one. I like butter cookies. I like shortbread cookie,
Yeah.
which a shortbread cookie really is a formulation of a butter cookie.
True.
Um, but I know the ones you're talking about. I want to say Knott's Berry Farm is known for making a Linzer cookie. They have a variation of it.
Oh, that has to be nothing but good, Steve, because I like their little preserves and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. And if you go to a restaurant down here, I don't know about up in your area or up north, you have a restaurant called Cracker Barrel.
Yes.
And when they don't give you toast with your order, they bring you biscuits. And
Amazing.
yeah, and the little tubs of fruit spread they give you is Knott's Berry Farm.
Yum. Are we getting anybody hungry around here viewing? Just wondering. Let us know in the comments section below.
I'm
Steve, I have
thinking,
go ahead, Steve.
I'm thinking at this point maybe two or three, but what do I know?
You never know. Steve, I have a question for you. And I know I'm on your channel, but I do have a question for
Okay.
you. Now, you have been known to take those cookies that you mentioned on your most recent Recipe Tuesday show. You've been known to take them to occasions. Am I correct?
Yeah, the oatmeal raisin. What I did is I did oatmeal and oatmeal raisin. I divided them up, and I did that on purpose because I don't know. Some people like raisins, some don't. So I had a variation of the two. I took the your Christmas tin, your cookie, not cookie tin, but popcorn tin, about that far from the bottom, from the top. I
Yeah.
mean, and I filled it up with nothing but cookies. Within 45 minutes, they were gone.
I was going to ask you, what was the rate of from the time you bring them to the time they're gone? That says a lot.
Um,
45 minutes? Are you kidding me?
Two different times, there was another gathering, another get together at a later venture that I decided to take my banana pudding.
Oh,
And what I did is I filled up a lasagna pan. The
no.
the one you get at the dollar store, the lasagna pan that you can put the plastic. So
That's a great idea.
I made one of those plumb full of banana pudding. I'd say within a 35, 40 minute ratio. Adios.
Excuse me 1 second. I'm going to mute my mic.
All right. Well, Janet has a phone call. Um, but yeah, I took my banana pudding to a
Thank you for that. Can you hear me, Steve?
yeah.
Okay.
Hopefully nobody important, but anyway. Um,
Oh, no, no, it could wait.
oh yeah. Okay. So
Sorry, guys.
so the pudding or banana pudding that I took, I'd say within a 35, 40 minute radius. Didn't last very long. It was very good. Everybody liked it. Everybody enjoyed it. Now, keep in mind, when I made the banana pudding and I took it, I didn't use boxed vanilla pudding, although those that want to do that route, you can. There's nothing wrong with that. But I made my pudding from scratch.
I can only imagine how delicious that had to be.
No, it was. Um, I don't make my banana pudding often enough, but it is good when I do make it. Whether it's the boxed or the from scratch, either one. Um, but yeah, coming back to the cookie, I kept the Christmas popcorn tin about 3, 4 inches from the top, plumb full of cookies, oatmeal raisin. They loved it. I just set it down on the table, took the lid off. I had it, I put wax paper on the inside or parchment paper, I can't remember, and they enjoyed them.
You know what I love about this idea that you put them in the tin? I mean, the rate of breakage has got to be about zero because that is probably the safest way to line them up, put the paper in between, pack them up, and easily and looks cute. Put them in your car, or if you're walking, whatever you're doing, and without worrying about the cookies breaking. That was a great idea.
Yeah, it was, and if you're and like I mentioned in the video, keep the Quaker oatmeal container if you're taking cookies and you're going to a party or a get together on a smaller scale, you could put it in that.
Wow.
That comes in handy.
Steve, you did something with pancake mix.
I did
With,
not recently. I did it about 2 years back, or 2.5. I took um, pancake mix, buttermilk complete, and I sprinkled in some cinnamon in a slow cooker, mind you, and I made snickerdoodle cookies.
and I know for a fact they're good.
Not
They
only
are.
did they were, not only did I like them, but my best friend, roommate, whatever you want to call it, all that applies, best friend, roommate, because I've known him a long time.
Yes,
Um, he ate some.
and you like them.
He did. I mean,
And go
you
ahead.
you could really taste the cinnamon, the sugar cookie like coming out in it. I mean, it really was good.
So you're proving that a person, let's say they don't have a stove, they don't have an oven, they could still achieve the effect of having fresh homemade style cookies, snickerdoodle style, in this manner. You know me, I'm a
Yeah.
pancake mix person. If I could take pancake mix and turn it into something,
Well,
I'm glad you did that.
what I did when I went to put the batter down inside the slow cooker, I layered it with aluminum foil. So all I had to do was pick it up and pull it out.
Ah,
It didn't coat the bottom of the porcelain insert. Then all you had to do was just wipe it out with a clean cloth or a towel, and you could go again. That you didn't have to take it out, wash it, and scrub with a sponge or anything. No, put aluminum foil down in there, then your batter, put it on for about an hour and a half, but that could vary, and that's pretty much it. And then you just that's it. And right before the cookie's done, or right about the time you go to or for it to turn off, or if you have an automatic one where it switches, that's the time to take some type of a utensil, a knife or a fork, and pierce it. And if it comes out clean, then you know it's done, just like a cake.
that's wonderful. And that reminds me, cake mix. You want cookies? You don't have cookies, but you got a box of cake mix. There are many recipes. I've even created a few videos about
Yeah.
that where you could turn that cake mix into a cookie batter.
Actually, if you revert back to some videos that I did about 2 or 3 months back,
Hmm.
I did Duncan Hines mug cakes. Mug cakes. I got them at Amazon. Well, you don't have to go that route. You can actually buy a box of cook cake mix, and still do the same thing. Put your cake mix in your water. You mix it up. Stick it in your microwave. Wait about a minute or so, depending on the wattage of your microwave. Voila, you have a mug cake. You don't have to go the other route.
Right, right. And you also did something like this is great for people that, want to keep ingredients really low. Didn't you have a video with a 2 ingredient a muffin or a 2-ingredient cake or something like that with
Yeah,
soda?
yeah, I did. I did one with a soda cake. That turned out decently well. I would have to work on that again. I would have to. I'm not. It turned out decent. I'd give it a B. Not too bad. But I would want to expand on the soda cake recipe. I did that one, and I think I did some type of like a devil's food cake, pumpkin. I think.
Yes, with Halloween approaching, and which just
Yeah.
happens to be Steve's birthday,
I,
just saying.
yes,
Shh.
it is. Yeah, it is. For those that don't know, all of the newbies that are coming in, my birthday is on Halloween. Um, so, but it was pumpkin puree, the chocolate cake mix of some type, and you made a muffin out of it. That was it. And I have the video in my lineup. It's you just have to revert back, but I do have it.
And that was with actual like pumpkin, not like a pumpkin pie mix, just straight pumpkin,
That
correct?
was straight pumpkin, yeah, the straight pumpkin
That's
puree,
great
or whatever it was.
because this is the time of the year. If you're going to get the pumpkin, this is the time of the year.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I want to thank you for stopping by. I really appreciate it.
So fun as always. We could just take an ordinary subject and make it a celebration. So get
Oh,
out there and make some cookies or muffins or something, guys.
we sure could. That's right. Well, I'll be back. Who knows? You may be back. It all depends on your schedule and how things are going. I'll be
Absolutely.
back on Saturday, and at this point, I'm not really sure what I'm doing, but I'll be back on Saturday with another upload. Uh, as all of you know, I'm going to close with this right here. I did reach my 500 subscribers.
Steve, I meant to congratulate you.
Thank
Forgive me.
you.
I wanted to
No,
congratulate Steve. He hit the
thank you.
500.
Thank you. But I'm still going over comments. I hope to get around to all of them. What I've noticed about when people comment as you move up the ladder, it's harder to keep up with.
It really is.
So if I'll acknowledge you somehow. If I don't necessarily acknowledge you with words, I'll put a heart. I'll tap the heart because I want to show that I acknowledged you. I don't want to leave anybody hanging. So, but thanks to all of you. Thanks to me and you and a few others.
Thank you.
You're welcome. A part of YouTube that helped me reach the 5. So I'm happy
Well,
about
we're glad you're here and thank you for it. And before you know, it'll be not only your birthday month, but also celebrating your 2nd year on YouTube anniversary.
it. Right. That's coming up in right around 5.5 weeks. That's on the 19th of
So
October.
fast. Where's it going?
All right. Well, I'll see everybody back on Saturday. Who knows? You might be there. Depends on your schedule.
Sure, we'll find out.
Yeah, and we'll go from there. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to conclude, and then I'll be back and we'll wave our goodbyes. Bye, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.
Bye. Thank you, Steve.
You're welcome. Bye.